there. Different experiences, work-wise and on a personal level.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to see things unfold.
I think in theatre you get the live reactions.
Yeah.
If you just hit the note, everybody's gonna clap for you and hoot for
Exactly.
you.
Not just that, but like every night is different, and
Yeah.
even the audience's energy is always different. So, yeah, everything is a different experience, and I don't know which one I'd say I'd like more, but I think it really depends on the mood.
Yeah. But acting is the permanent thing that you really want to act because
Yeah, I think
you
that's.
love it.
I think I'd go crazy without it, although I don't necessarily do it much. But
Yeah.
But yeah, without it, I think I'd go crazy.
You've worked with some amazing directors and actors. Can you recall a moment when someone truly changed your approach to acting?
My approach to it is it really just it's always changing. Just kind of like we're human beings. We're evolving.
Yeah.
We're forever changing. We learn from our highs and lows.
Yeah.
Similarly with work, as an actor, you kind of learn from every story. You learn from the actors around you. You pick up little things.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that I have really learned is to just trust
The process.
not just the process, but like trust your director. Trust the decision you've
Okay,
made.
so you're the director's kind of actor. Like,
I'm not.
okay.
Funny enough, I never consider myself to be, but what I've started to do, and I think maybe I subconsciously do, is to kind of give in.
Yeah.
And because I think the ultimate director there is God, and they've
Yeah.
put you there. He's put you there for a reason, and so you just have to trust yourself and trust the team that's around
Yeah.
you. And I think anything that you do that is successful, or anything that means something to you, or is just a representation of the people around you. So I think I've been lucky that I've had great people around me, great directors, writers,
Yeah.
co-actors, and that's what. There's a life of a project on its own when it's being
Yeah.
made, right?
That's true. Okay, they हर project की किस्मत होती है. So वो खुद
Yeah,
अपनी किस्मत लिखता है.
The project is a world of its own.
Yeah, it's like a personality. Having global training, do you notice a difference in acting styles between Pakistani dramas and international films, and how do you adapt when crossing borders?
I don't necessarily think there's a difference. I think there's convincing acting and there's not convincing acting. I mean, if I'm convinced by something, if I'm
Okay.
convinced as an actor or as a viewer, I think that's the most important part. Whether it's something Hollywood, Bollywood,
Yeah.
Hollywood, whatever. It's if that performance or if that story is moving you,
Yeah.
it's good. I think we all adjust our styles or our way of doing our things depending on the story, depending on the genre. I think that really you have to adapt.
By the way,
anyway.
which genre do you like the most
Me?
to act?
I don't know. I've done a lot. I love romance. I
Yeah.
love a good thriller.
But you've done comedy also.
Yeah, I love comedy. Actually, I love comedy. I would definitely love to do comedy again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it depends on where I'm at in my life, what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes I'm going through a bad time in life, and I want to do a comedy. Or if I'm going through a good time,
You want to do intense.
do something intense because
Yeah.
it brings out different things in you. Sometimes you're going through a really difficult time in your
Yeah.
life, and you're doing a role that is difficult, and it creates this kind of weird authenticity with it. So, I don't know. I don't know what I would say is my favorite genre, but I'd love to explore more and see. I won't do horror though. Horror I will not do
Why?
because I get scared.
Oh, but you're acting in it.
No, it doesn't matter. Well, I'll get scared. मैं वैसे भी घर पे भी horror film नहीं देखता. I can't.
I also don't like horror movies. I think
I don't like anything
crazy.
जिसमें like बाद में mood आपका थोड़ा खराब हो. आप डरे हुए या मतलब
Yeah.
depressed हो तो I don't like doing that.
But
मैं
I
वैसे
like-
ही पहले बहुत सोचता हूँ तो I'm like no, it's not good.
Okay. As the question that I'm going to ask you, that's very true. That as a role model to many youngsters, to be very honest, do you feel pressure to pick roles that send a positive message? How do you balance that with your personal artistic choices?
I think the easiest way to answer that is like आप जो कुछ भी टीवी पर देखते हैं, फिल्में देखते हैं, whatever it is, it's a story, कहानी है.
Yeah.
ठीक है. कभी-कभी ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं चाहिए उसके बारे में, बस बैठ के enjoy करें. But it's great when people watch something and they're so moved that they feel this desire to kind of communicate how they feel about it. When it comes to choosing a role, I think again there's a lot of a lot of variables. क्या मैंने पहले ऐसे कुछ किया है, कहानी कैसी है, मेरे लिए as an actor इसमें क्या challenge है, why do I want to do it, am I scared when I think about doing this role? Those are some of the things that I consider when I'm doing something, and also because like I think signing something on is a real commitment to your life. I will be putting aside Ahad's life for the next 6 months, 8 months. So I need to make sure what I'm doing is something that's going to speak to me here. And it's a story that I think needs to be heard. Those are some of the decisions, the things I look at when I'm making a choice. But when it comes to having a responsibility, I think the responsibility is there's a few responsibilities. A, you need to tell a good story. B, you need to satisfy yourself as an actor. And 3, like at the end of the day, I think.
But isn't it important with entertainment being a medium, and that really inspires people, to be very honest?
Yeah.
If, for example, I'm from fashion, so if I see something on screen that's trendy, that's catchy, I do follow it, right?
Right.
So how same goes for the actors, the way they choose the roles and the storyline. I think ultimately उसका impact भी तो सोचना चाहिए कि क्या होएगा आवाम के ऊपर.
Again, I think if we're going to look at it in that perspective, we need to tell stories that uplift people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say everything needs to have a social cause or an issue that needs to be discussed, but you should watch something and feel good about it and feel like you watched a story that has helped you develop new perspectives in your own mind and change your opinions about things and made you think. It's not like I sit there and go, this is the objective of this drama.
और वो अच्छा भी, because that is like you're preaching something.
Yeah, shoving it down their throats. Let them experience what they want through it. So I think that's one of the things that people should understand when they're watching something. Like if you look at the responsibility that we have, the responsibility is to show good characters, show how people develop in life. Like there's always a lesson to be learned from every story, every character. And I guess that's when I choose something, I think about what am I going to learn from this, and maybe the audience will feel the same way. That's at least that's kind of how I look at it.
Great. Okay, so you worked on both traditional and modern projects. How do you think the industry can keep a balance between honoring culture and embracing new trends?
Well, it depends. I mean, what do you define as traditional and?
Traditional, it means like the storyline because what we do mostly on our TV is drama as a genre.
Right.
We don't necessarily go on and do like murder mysteries or different topics or different genres. So whatever we do right now, do you think that the mixing both the cultural impact, because obviously mostly the audience are like the certain kind of age and bracket that they watch the dramas, they love the घर की सारी कहानियाँ, शादियाँ, चीज़ें, तो वो चीज़ के साथ आप कैसे
I think our
हैं?
audience is changing. Our audience is not just the Urdu Hindi speaking audience. There's a lot of audiences that, like I've run into people from Mauritius or Nepal who don't speak Urdu, don't speak Hindi. They watch it with subtitles or whatever it might be. So our audience is really expanding. Our way of storytelling is a set pattern maybe, but I don't think that there's much of a. It's how you present a story. I don't think it's got anything to do with like traditional or modern. If we look at modern, what is that even? I think at the end of the day, a story is a story. It's just how we tell it. You could
the take on the story.
Exactly. You could do if you look at chalo, Saas Bahu. There's a Saas Bahu comedy. There's a Saas Bahu thriller. There's a Saas Bahu romance. Like you could flip anything on its head. So I think it's just a matter of how it's presented, how it's expressed. So like I feel like when you ask the question of like I've done both modern and traditional, I feel like I don't really know how to answer that because I've never looked at anything that way. I've always looked at like what's on the page and how are we gonna do it? What's the mood behind it?
But don't you think that there should be some effort for the younger audience, the Gen Zs, to get to see the TV, the content that you like?
That they want to see.
Yeah, because I think mostly अब Gen Zs ऐसे हो गए हैं कि it's like more Netflix and Amazon and this and that, and they don't necessarily go and watch the dramas that are on air or working.
Right.
So don't you think we should tell the young stories also on the TV?
Well, I think trends are changing. Trends have to change. We have to change with the times, right? If you compare our industry even to 7 years ago, a lot has changed.
A lot has changed.
And in the next 5 years, a lot will change.
Yeah.
And it's when more new people start coming in and,
Yeah.
and pushing their ideas. And I think that shift is happening.
And I think it's for the better.
It is, and it's always for the better. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, then we figure
We go
something else
back
out.
to what we
Not
do
necessarily
best.
back, but you go to a different version
Yeah.
of what you've already done.
Great. I would love to continue this conversation more and more and more and talk to you, but obviously we have some time restraints. So
I
thank
also
you.
have a flight to catch.
Yeah, he has a flight to catch. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And our cover is coming. I think by the time this interview is out, the cover is out, and I hope you guys are loving it. So show some love, and अगर अपने comments से हमें आगाह करें, and let us know how do you feel, and anything you want to tell and address your audience and your fans, because they go
As
crazy.
usual,
when-
the only thing I have to say every time is my fans are my family. I love you guys, and thank you always for supporting me. And
especially those millions pages that run on like edits and stuff, and they are like 24/7.
they're the best. I think
Yeah.
I'm very lucky that I have. I'm very lucky that I have a large fan base of supporters who really understand who I am. I think that's it's such a unique feeling, such a special feeling that they know me, that they really understand who I am as a person, and I think that's the case anyways. I think
Yeah.
I am what I am, and it's nice to. It's just nice. It's a nice feeling to be supported and loved. It's all love at the end of the day. So
It is all love. So be kind and respect. Get respect. Give respect. Thank you so much, and take care.
thank you.
Bye.